John Henry Browne is Bales' attorney. He spent 11 hours with his client early this week at Leavenworth Federal Prison in Kansas. He's with us now from Seattle. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. What can you tell us about Sergeant Bales' state of mind and what he says about the events and incident in Afghanistan?
Well, I think, as you know, I really couldn't tell you what he said, but he really hasn't said much. He has there's a little bit inaccuracy in the reporting. He has some memories about what happened before the alleged events and some memories after the alleged events and some windows here and there into things, but he really doesn't have any memory. And my meetings with him clearly indicates to me that he's got memory problems that go back long before that. So I think the other part of your question was his state of mind.
Yes.
He's kind of in shock, not kind of. He didn't really know the nature of the specific allegations when I met with him, and I actually didn't go through it a lot. We just spent 11 hours getting to know each other, talking about his service in Iraq and Afghanistan and what he's gone through, which just very difficult for me to even listen to.
Why is that?
And I think he was really happy.
Why is it
really
difficult for you to go
also.
into?
Oh, you know, I mean, I think you've seen the movie The Hurt Locker, Charlie. You know, that's a Disney movie compared to what these guys are going through. You know, just seeing people blown apart next to you, picking up body parts, putting them in bags. Now, you know, a lot of servicemen go through that and don't have incidents alleged like this, but it's pretty horrific. And we do know he had a concussive head injury, which is serious. And we also know it was not treated for a variety of reasons.
Does this all suggest that your defense for him will be limited capacity, that his experience in Afghanistan, both physically and mentally, took a toll?
Well, you know, that's the interesting question. I don't know. I mean, I'm a criminal defense lawyer, and, you know, my first reaction is, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but my first reaction to all of this is prove it. This is going to be a very difficult case for the government to prove, in my opinion. There is no crime scene. There is no, you know, there's no CSI stuff. There's no DNA. There's no fingerprints. It's just going to be interesting to see how the government's going to prove this. But let's assume that they can prove some of these allegations. Then, of course, his mental state will become part of the approach that we'll take to explain and hopefully defend him properly. So the mental state eventually will be definitely an issue.
You've also said, just really quickly, that you told our colleague Peter Van Sant earlier this week you intended to put the government on trial here. Is there a suggestion on your part that he may be a scapegoat here?
Well, the answer to the second question, pardon me, Erica, is yes. I think there is a possibility he could be scapegoated here. I did not say that to Peter. I don't. As a matter of fact, I want to make it very clear, I don't want to put the government on trial. I certainly don't want to put the military on trial, that I respect greatly. But I think the war is on trial, and I didn't do that. I think this incident has created a dialogue in the country and around the world about the war, and I think that's entirely appropriate. I'm not doing that. That's just happening.
John Henry Browne, thank you very much for joining us from Seattle.
It's a pleasure.